Welcome, students. Today's topic that we are going to cover is the very simplest topic that you have studied from the early class 4 till now. That kingdom planty. We have already studied the three different kingdom, that is kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, and kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Fungi. So three different kingdom has already been completed. In our today's class, we are going to complete the kingdom Plantae, and this kingdom obviously very simple, that we are going to study all the characteristics of plant, means all the features that a plant have will be studied by us in this kingdom. So what are the basic characteristics of a plant? All the plant are eukaryotic, means their cell contain nucleus. And another topic, each cell they have chlorophyll in their cells. Mostly the cells of leaf contain the chlorophyll, and due to that they can capable to do the process called, yes, absolutely right, due to presence of chlorophyll they can capable to do the process of photosynthesis, and that's why they are called autotrophs, or the producer. Now the life cycle has been divided into diploid sporophytic and haploid gametophytic, means they produce the two gametes, that is male gamete and female gamete, and these gametes are called haploid because they contain the half the number of chromosome. When these gametes fuse together, they form the seed and it becomes 2n, and here the sporophytic body starts, or sporophytic mode of life cycle is started over here. When the two gametes meet together, fertilize together, it forms the seed, and this seed grow into a new organism that is called diploid sporophytic body. So the gametes are haploid, that's why called haploid gametophytic body and diploid sporophytic body. The plant that we see is actually diploid sporophytic body of the plant, but the gamete that is produced inside the flower is haploid, and it is called haploid gametophytic body, which alternate with each other, means every haploid is followed by sporophytic body, and sporophytic body is followed by gametophytic body, means in the life cycle both of them come one by one. Understood? Hope you are understanding very well, although you have to read each and every line of the book. It is very important. Now one of the most important feature that is going to make you understand that the kingdom Plantae has divided into several divisions. The divisions are algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. So how many divisions are there of kingdom Plantae? Yes, 5. Algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm, and angiosperm. There are 5 divisions. Obviously this division will be studied by us in lesson number 3 in detail. It is the trailer only, okay? So just have a simple outlook on the kingdom Plantae, although it is very easy and you have understood. Just I making it recap to keep your mind to keep learn all the things in your mind. Okay, let's study. First, they are eukaryotic. Eukaryotic means their cell contain nucleus. Second, they contain chlorophyll. The chlorophyll contain only on those part which do the photosynthesis. Means chlorophyll mainly present in the leaf of the plant. In some cases, chlorophyll may can present in the stem if the stem is green in color. So any part of the body, plant body, which is green in color contain chlorophyll. Understood? So with the help of chlorophyll, they can capable to do the photosynthesis, and that's why they are called autotrophs and also called producer, because they produce the food not only for themselves but also for the other organisms, because all the organisms directly or indirectly depend on the plant for their food. That's why they are called producers. Hope you understand the things. Now the life cycle is divided into two parts, that is diploid sporophytic body and haploid gametophytic body. Haploid gametophytic body is present inside the flower. Means the two gametes, when the two gametes together fertilize or mix together or fertilize, they produce the seed, and these seeds grow into a new organism. So formation of seed is a starting of sporophytic life part of the life cycle. Understood? And again when the sporophytic body become mature, it produces the flower, and again inside the flower the gametophytic body, or you can say the gamete formation take place. Hope you understand these things. Now the kingdom Plantae has been divided into 5 different divisions, and these divisions are algae, bryophyta, pteridophyta, gymnosperm and angiosperm. We will study all these things in the chapter number 3. Yes, hope you are understanding the things. Now we are going to cover the animal kingdom. Yeah, it is the kingdom number 5, animal kingdom or kingdom Animalia. So all the features that we have and other organisms of the world, means mainly the organisms, that is animals, understood, are follow under the kingdom Animalia. So what are the different features? First feature, they are heterotrophic in nature, means they do not produce their food by themselves, means they depend on the plant for their food, means they depend on the plant directly or indirectly. If they do depend directly, they are mainly herbivorous. If they are not depend directly, they depend on the herbivorous, then they are called carnivorous. And omnivorous are the mediator between the both of them. They eat both the plant as well as animal. So they are heterotrophic in nature, means they do not able to make their own food. They depend directly or indirectly on the plant for their food. Next topic, they are eukaryotes. Yeah, all the cells of the animal contain the nucleus. Organisms that are multicellular, all the organisms are multicellular, because unicellular organisms has been classified in the protozoas as a protozoa, because the protozoa are called the ancestor of kingdom Animalia. So protozoas are the unicellular, and if they become multicellular, they come under the kingdom Animalia. Understood? So they are multicellular, and most important thing, cell wall is not present over here. In all kingdom, you have somewhere seen there is a presence of cell wall in both Monera, Protista, fungi, as well as in kingdom Plantae. You have seen most of them contain the cell wall, but in Animalia no cell wall is there. So cell wall is absent. And what is the mode of nutrition? Very simple. They do not able to do the photosynthesis. So they obtain the food from the nature and directly eat it. The whole food eating mechanism is called holozoic mode of nutrition. So mode of nutrition is holozoic, means obtaining the food and eating whole food is called holozoic. And they store the food in their body in form of glycogen. Again I am repeating. In which form the food is stored in plant? There is a chart that is given in your book, and it make it very clear. The chart is given there with the 5 kingdom classification, and in that chart it has been mentioned that which kind of food storage is there in the different kind of organism. Read the chart, it is very important. Okay, it is you will also see the kind of the composition of cell wall, that is also mentioned over there. So the food storage in this animal in form of glycogen, means glucose converted into glycogen or fat in form. So name an organism which also stored the food in form of glycogen. Yes, anyone? Yes, fungi. Fungi also store the food in their body in form of glycogen, and they in this way show the characteristics of the animal, although they are not animal. Next, sexual mode of reproduction is by copulation, means two organisms come together and sexually reproduce and produce a new organism. So copulation means intercourse, or you can say means sexual contacts between the male and the female. Understood? So sexual reproduction is by copulation between the male and female, followed by embryological development, means embryology means embryo develop. And where does the embryo develop? Embryo develop inside the egg. Obviously this egg either develop outside the body or inside the body. If the egg produce forms outside the body, the development of embryo will be seen in outside the body. And in case of mammals, the embryo develop into fetus inside the mother's womb. So here it is the end of our today's class, that is Kingdom Animalia. Let's have a short outlook or recap of this kingdom. So Kingdom Animalia are heterotrophs, means they cannot able to do their photosynthesis, so they directly or indirectly depend on the plants for their food. If they directly depend on the plants, they are called herbivorous. If they are eating the herbivorous to obtain their food, then they are called carnivorous. And omnivorous are intermediate between both of them, means they can eat both the animal and the flesh of the animal as well as the plant products. Next, they are eukaryotic, means the cell contain the nucleus. And third, they are multicellular, means all organisms have more than one cell, and they do not have cell wall, means you have seen in Kingdom Monera, Protista, fungi and plantae, all have contained the different kinds of cell wall and its composition. Sorry, but in Animalia no cell wall present, means a cell wall is absent in case of Animalia. Now the mode of nutrition, they do the holozoic nutrition. Holozoic nutrition means obtaining the food and eating it wholly. Suppose there is a snake, the snake catches the prey, or you can say frog. So how do it eat? It eat the frog totally. Lion eat the deer totally. So eating the food totally is called holozoic mode of nutrition. And in which form they store the food in their body? Under the skin, the food is stored in form of starch, or in the liver and muscles, the food is stored in the form of glycogen. Hope you are understanding the things. Very good. Next, what is the mode of reproduction? Mostly they do the sexual mode of reproduction. Our sexual mode of reproduction can be seen in some lower kind of organism, means like in earthworm. If the body is divided into two parts, each part develop into a new organism. It is called regeneration. So this kind of reproduction is seen in the lower organism, but in a higher organism, sexual mode of reproduction is seen, and this is done by formation of two gametes, that is male gamete and female gamete. And when the both of them fuse together, means after fertilization, it produces a new organism. Understood? So how do the two male gamete and female gamete come together? By copulation, means intercourse, or by sexual contact between the male and female partner. And when the both the gamete fuse together, it forms an zygote, and the zygote develop into embryo, and the embryo show the development of the baby inside the egg. So this development of the baby inside the egg is called embryological development, means embryology developed into a new organism. Hope you understood the thing very clearly over here. And here the end of part number 8, that is we have completed two kingdom today, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Hope it is very interesting for you. Now you have to complete all the homework in the copy and send it to me on time. And if you are obviously facing any kind of problem, I am always ready to help you anytime, anywhere. Hope for your better learning. Keep safe yourself from corona. Bye bye. See you.